Hi, it's Michael. Today I am reviewing the GVM, the Great Video Maker Video Light Setup. This thing is great. I've been using this for a few weeks now and it has been really helpful to me. If you are on a budget and you are looking for a great video set to get started with, I think this might fit the bill for you really well. They give you a soft case. Everything is packaged in this. I hate to start with a negative comment right off the bat, but since the case is right here, I will mention my only complaint with this case really is the way that the handle is stitched onto the case. It's just stitched on here. There's no real reinforcement. When this is all loaded up, it's actually, you know, it's not heavy, but it's heavy enough that I just think that this is really going to be prone to ripping the stitching at some point in time. So I would treat this with care. Definitely don't lug this around carelessly. You might want to support it with your hand underneath when you need to. And let's face it, most of the time your lights aren't going to be in the case because you're going to be using them. So, but if you are using this for a portable lighting system, just keep in mind that this is not the most durable looking strap to me. So the case has two compartments, one on each side. I've already got some of the lights set up, so this isn't really an accurate unboxing by any means, but when you open up the one side, you're going to find one light over here. They do give you these sort of like felt bags that the lights are in. About the only time I've put the lights in this bag is when I first opened it up and took them out of the bags. I don't put the lights back in the bags because they're just a little tight, and the lights, you know, it's just a little bit of a hassle to get the lights in there. And then next to that is a box which has the power adapters in it. There's 3 lights, so you get 3 power adapters. I've only used 2 of the lights at a time so far. I haven't needed to use all 3, so there's the 3rd power adapter. Now, then on the other side, we'll just close this up and get back over to the other side of the case. This is where you're going to find the other 2 lights, and also the light stands are over here. So the light stands, once again, they come in a felt bag as well, and again, I don't use them because once you get them out of the bag, it's just a little more difficult to get them back in the bag. But here are the stands. Now, they shaved a little money off the stands, right? I mean, to get this complete system for the price that they're selling it at, you're not going to get the best stand in the world. But it serves its purpose. It holds the light. As long as you're careful with these stands, they should serve you well. And again, you get 3 stands. Then there's a divider, and this is where the other 2 lights are. Now, this is the light that is still in the bag because I haven't really used it. So, you know, you just slide the light out of the bag. Makes a lot of sense. It's this attachment that hooks onto your stand that makes getting it into the case a little more difficult, and that's why I just generally don't put them back in the case. But I'll show you how that goes. You know, see, you just have to kind of fiddle around there, and it's not as easy as you'd think. So let's try putting that in first. Maybe that'll be a little easier. Yeah, see, I kind of not lying to you when I say it's not easy to get into the case. Ta-da! Okay, there we go. So if you find an easier way to get it in the case, you just let me know and I'll pass that along to everybody. So that is the case. Now let's take a look at the lights themselves. So as you can see, I have 2 lights set up right now. You also have this. So this lets you direct the light. These are plastic. Be careful. You also get the diffuser. I'll show you how that goes in and out a little bit later on. And this closes up like this. It's very easy to get these on the stand. You just undo this knob here and to take it off or put it on. The stand, you can raise the stand up to just about 6 feet tall. You've got 3 adjustments here. 1, 2, and 3. And again, this will be just about 6 feet tall if you are fully extended. As far as the stand operation, you know, again, it's not the most robust stand, but this is how you would close it up. And the stand compresses pretty easily. And then to open it up, just open up the legs a little bit. I usually grab the top and I just sort of push it like this, and that seems to be the easiest way for me to open the stand up. Now each of these lights can be operated independently, or they can work in a slave and master mode. And so let me get things arranged here and I'll show you how that works. Alright, I'd like to take an in-depth look at the light now. This is the light, and when you first take it out of the box, it's going to be all folded up like this, and then the light attaches to the stand by simply loosening up this and putting it on top of the stand. So we will do that right now and just tighten this up. The power cord just connects onto the back. Now this can also operate with 2 batteries. The power cord plugs into the back. My one comment about that is I wish that the power adapter had some sort of a clip on it so that it would attach somewhere on the stand itself. Otherwise, what you're going to see is if you have your stand up too high, or not too high, but high, you're going to be putting a lot of pressure on this cord. So I don't know if that's a good thing or not. So what I'm going to eventually do here, I've just been a little too lazy to do it, is I will create either a rubber band or some sort of a Velcro attachment so that I can literally attach the transformer to the bottom of the stand so it doesn't put any undue pressure on the connection point here. Now, depending on whether you use batteries or AC power, there's a switch here. The switch to the right turns on the power cord, and if you're using batteries, then you would switch it to the left. Since I don't have batteries, I can't demonstrate that, but in any case, that's what that switch does. When you turn it on, you've got 4 different modes, and you go through the different modes by pushing the mode button. Big surprise there, right? So you've got the app mode, which you can control the lights using the app, and it works really well. You've got rotate mode, which basically lets you operate each light independently of the other lights. The kit comes with 3 lights. I've only got 2 of them connected right now, but if I just wanted to control each light individually, I'd leave it in the rotate mode. Once you're in that mode, then you've got several options. You've got 2 dials down here. One is for the brightness, and the other one controls the color temperature, the hue, and the saturation, and the scene. Now this has several scene modes, which I'll also demonstrate in a few minutes. But basically it's a multifunction button, and you press and hold it for 3 seconds to get into the different modes that this will do. So right now we are in the color temperature mode, and by turning the dial you can change the color temperature from 3200 up to 5600 Kelvin, and that is in 100 value increments, so 32, 33, 3400, etc. Now when I open up the light to get the light going into my room, you can see all of a sudden we have a color temperature of 3400. I'll quickly turn this to 5600, which is more like daylight, and then 3200 is a very warm light, so you can see it's more yellowish. And as far as the brightness, we're at 43%. I can turn this all the way up to 100% and dial it back down to, it's stepless, so you can go by very small increments all the way to 0 basically. If I push the multifunction button again, then we are going to go into the hue mode. And again, this is just going to let you change the hue of the light. Press it a 3rd time, and we are now we're into the saturation mode. And once again, by turning the light, you can alter the saturation. And then the final press gets us back into the color temperature mode. Now, if you do a long press, 3 seconds, that is going to put you into the scene mode. So we have 8 different scene modes, and scene number 1 is lightning. Scene 2 is going to be the police. Obviously, it's mimicking a red and blue flashing light. Scene 3 is going to be candlelight. So basically you just get a subtle flickering effect. Scene 4 is TV mode. So again, this gives you that bluish sort of flickering TV kind of thing. If you were staring at a TV and the camera, the video camera is on your face, it would mimic the lighting on your face, similar to if you were sitting in front of a TV. The next mode is the bad light bulb. This one kind of cracks me up, but it's supposed to be sort of a flickering light, you know, a bad connection or something. And our next mode is the party mode. Woohoo! So this is basically just a disco effect or a party effect. I shouldn't say the disco effect because the disco effect is actually the very next effect, but you can see this is just cycling through different colors. And then the next mode is the disco effect. Very similar to the party effect. And the final mode is the paparazzi mode, and this is supposed to mimic camera flashes. Now, whether or not you use those modes is up to you. Personally, I don't really use them for the type of videography that I do, but they are there for you if you want to experiment with those. Press that button for 3 seconds again, and that'll get you back into the normal mode here. Now, again, this was in the rotate mode. If we change the mode to slave, actually, I'm going to have my second light over here be the slave. I'm going to put this one into master mode. Now, also these buttons that I'm pushing, they are going to affect your channel. So when you want to use a master and slave, you want both lights or all 3 lights to be on the same channel. So I'm going to put my master on channel 1. I'm going to go over to my slave and make sure it's in channel 1. And when we're ready to use the slave, then we'll be good to go. This light being the master means I want to put this into master mode. Now this is the confusing part. You just need to remember to change modes, use the mode button. And then to change channels, you use the arrow buttons. So now we are in the master mode here, and once again, everything works pretty much the same on this light when you're in the master mode as it would in the rotate mode. So now I'm going to turn on my slave, and I have already previously put it on channel 1, so you can see this light and you can see this light. I'm going to change the color temperature now, and you will see that both lights are changing color temperature. And here's the brightness, and you can see that both lights are changing brightness. So whatever I'm doing on the master is going to be mimicked on the slave. And that is also going to happen when I go into the scene mode here. Whatever scene I've chosen is also going to be duplicated on the slave. So as I push the button and go into the different scene modes, the slave is following right along. Now I have noticed that in the slave master scene mode, they aren't completely synced, and I don't know if that's going to be a problem or not. I don't use the scene modes like I said, but I have noticed they're not quite in sync, so maybe that's actually desirable. I'm not really sure. Push that for 3 seconds again to get out of the scene mode. And then we have the same different options here as far as the color temperature, the hue, the saturation, and that's how that works. So let me show you the app integration now. So first we want to get into the app mode, and we are now in the app mode. I'm going to turn off my slave. Now, in case you don't have the app yet, you can actually scan the QR code that they have in several places. They have it actually on the soft case that you get. It's on the back of the light, so they do have that in several places. Once you get that, then you can launch the app. So it's called the GVM LED, and we'll just launch the app. We'll skip the advertising here. Wants me to log in, so let me log in quickly. So once you log into the app and once your light is on and in the app setting, you need to connect this light via Bluetooth. So there is the connect button there, and you just push that and it will connect to the light. And then you will see this screen pop up here, and these are the controls for the light. Again, we're on channel 1, and if I use the brightness, you can see the light gets bright. And if I get it up here about 33%, I can change the color of the light. Basically, you can do everything with the app that you could have done directly on the back of the light. So this makes controlling your lights and using your scenes very easily. And you can also create scenes and commit them to memory here if you've got something special you want to set it for. But here are the 8 different scenes that I mentioned, and again, you can control them all. Now, this will also let you work this in slave and master mode as well using the app. So the app is really awesome, and highly recommend that you get familiar with using the app because it'll make your workflow a lot easier. Now, when you get your light brand new and you just turn it on and it's like flashing weirdly, that's what happened to me. It's probably because at some point in the process of getting this thing boxed up and shipped to you, it was in a scene mode. Took me a while to figure this out. So if your light is not behaving correctly when you first get it, just make sure you go into the panel here and choose either the rotate or the master mode, and then you can get out of that scene mode and you should be back in business. Now, the light does come with a diffuser panel, so let me turn the brightness of this down, or maybe I'll just turn it completely off. So this is what the light is going to look like without the diffuser panel. This is the diffuser panel, and all you have to do is slide that panel in the side of the light, and it will definitely help out with getting rid of that harsh light. So it's exactly what it says it is. It is a diffuser, and we turn the light back on and you can see that the light isn't anywhere near as harsh as it would have been if the diffuser weren't installed. So that is basically it. That is the GVM video light system. I think it works great. I think it's kind of remarkable that you can get a light that is so versatile as this one for the price that this is selling for. I want to thank GVM for sending me this light for review. The opinions of this light are mine and mine alone. GVM did not influence me in any way whatsoever. Hope you found this helpful. If you did like it, I'd appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Make sure you hit the bell so you get instant notifications of my next reviews. And as always, if you have any questions, leave a comment below. I'll answer it if I can. Thanks a lot for watching. Catch you next time.